these various countries.
So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that for investors, the most important thing, and I think this is true of investors everywhere in the world, it's all about confidence. The stock markets and investing is really a forward-looking mechanism, and people need to feel good about the future. Most investors are by nature positive in their thinking, even though they're realists, but they are still positive because they're making an investment today based on what they think will be a positive outcome in the future. And to do that, you need confidence, and you need clarity, and you need transparency. And all those things seem to be missing at the moment because of all the, at least in this country, of what appear to be misguided economic policies and to a certain degree a lack of economic leadership. I mean, after all, the U.S. is still the world's largest economy.
So what to do? What to do?
Well, what to do? What to do is when you don't know what to do, sometimes the best thing is simply to do nothing. Obviously, if you own good securities and you have good investments and they pay good dividends, life will go on, and it's just a time issue, and eventually these problems hopefully will correct themselves. And so, you just more or less would sit tight and collect the dividends and not spend a whole lot of time listening to people like me and watching financial news, but rather get on with your lives and enjoy yourselves. If you are nervous and uncomfortable and your investments represent perhaps a too bigger percentage of your overall assets, then maybe discretion is the better part of valor, and it's time to take a little money off the table so you can get to a comfort level where you're not constantly worried about your investments. And the third thing you can do, and we don't know where the bottoms are and we never know where the tops are, but because the market has sold off so much and could continue to sell off, what it tends to do is create some very interesting investment opportunities. And so I would develop a shopping list of companies that I would like to own based on my own research or outside research, that are good companies, good balance sheets, and pay decent dividends. Because the funny thing about Wall Street is when Wall Street has a fire sale, nobody ever comes, and they don't come because they're all scared to death. But it's in those fire sales that you will in fact find opportunities that will could prove to be very rewarding investments 6 months down the road, a year, 2 years, whatever the timing might be.
What's on top of your list?
Well, I have a rather long shopping list, but mostly large, big cap companies, leaders in their various sectors. I favor the energy sector, whether they be multinational drilling companies or producers. I favor the pharmaceutical sector, large pharmaceutical companies, and I favor the tech sector. But in every case, I try, if possible, to make investments in companies that also will pay me good dividends and our clients good dividends, because nobody knows. It's tough to know when you're right and when you're going to be wrong. So you have to be a little patient and be willing to be wrong, at least initially, but at least you get paid while you wait.
Any secret you could reveal for me? Any Swedish companies you're looking at?
No, I'm not. I mean, I know of a lot of good Swedish companies, but for me, living here, if I want exposure to offshore economies, whether it be emerging markets or in the Eurozone or in the Southern Hemisphere, I try to gravitate to large multinational U.S. companies because many of them derive 50% or more of their revenues from out of this country, and so that's how I get exposure to other countries, other zones, and emerging markets.